It's Dew Time with Pastor Steph.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rise and shine. You're on with this Due Time with Pastor Steph. How are you this morning? That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. For this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So, where were you all week? We started off the week shaking the Monday morning blues with the Due Time crew, and we ended up with the ladies only. And the topic of conversation, Monday's our relationship day. And we talked about the trivia where women wrote in just talking about their weird habits, the boyfriends or the husbands' weird habits that they just could not get around through, understand. And one was, I'll start off mildly, having a multi-purpose towel, the same towel being used for everything. No, you cannot use the same towel for everything. They said bathing, coming out the gym, coming off the track, it doesn't matter. But oh my goodness, the ladies really went crazy when we talked about them not washing their hands when they leave the bathroom. When we talked about somebody said they don't wash their butts. Oh my. Another one was where, he everything he sees, he gotta jump up and touch and tap, and it was like, why do you have to touch everything? Oh my goodness. When I tell you, it was some comic relief, but boy, I thought I was gonna have to bring out a defibrillator or two, because these two could not handle that conversation. So, men, you need to think about the things that your ladies just might not be able to accept. And most times it's just really unhygienic, however you want to say it. Yeah, it's a little too much. Just a little too much. But ask, if she's not telling you after that session, yeah, ask. Just find out if there's something you're doing that is really driving her up the walls that you seem to be perfectly fine with. Oh, we got to talk it to our girlfriend Vivian on Wednesday, our Wow Wednesday, and our socially conscious segment. And she talked about the debate as to whether, there should be suspension in the school, or there should be some type of different punishment and rehabilitation. And we had to, just really discuss the fact that school is not meant for rehabilitation. School is meant for education. So if you're going to really talk about them being rehabbed, if they have behavioral issues, then you may want to remove them from the school for that period of time and just give them some other type of regimen, but not suspending. We didn't think was such a great idea. We also talked about that Glendale Community College, where the students were all ready to walk across the stage, where only half of their names were even called. Now, we know this is like the highlight of the graduation after you sat through, the speech and all the other things that go on. People want to walk across the stage and hear their name. Well, why? Because they relied on AI. Yeah, AI can't do it all. Also, AI has to get some information. So we don't even know whether the information didn't go in properly, whether there was some other technical difficulty. Well, at the end of the day, we did show a video of the apology, and go back and view and see if that apology would be acceptable to you. Well, yesterday we talked about some other conversation where grandma was stabbed 11 times on Mother's Day after coming in with her grandchild shopping, ready to do this big Mother's Day meal, but asked her grandson, 29-year-old grandson, to help with the bags, and he ended up declaring, somebody gonna die in here today. And he commenced to stabbing grandma 11 times. And after the conversation ensued, we got to talking about some of the things that's done in people's lives from early that will help them become out of sorts later. Yes, we do. We have to bear some responsibility. I'm not saying it was grandma, but we do have to bear some responsibility as to whether we are a part of this problem or not. And man, we were cracking up yesterday. So maybe you think about it, maybe you don't, but check out yesterday's episode and maybe that might be something that crosses your mind. Well, today is Freestyle Friday. Yep, we made it, y'all. By the grace of God, we made it. And we are here to talk to the men. Well, Friday is our celebrity day, so we got a little celebrity talk. I didn't find anything real, wow, but I do have some news, and we can always get the conversation going. And I don't know where the conversation is going with my men today, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to talking to you. So make sure you go ahead and get that healthy breakfast. Make sure you tell somebody, anybody, everybody that it's due time with Pastor Steph is on. And whatever you do, don't go anywhere because we will be right back.
Healing is realizing that I'll keep it to myself mindset is no longer acceptable. That hurting in silence and allowing yourself to implode can no longer be tolerated. Speaking up is love. Asking for help is love. Having people in your life that genuinely care about you, and not just the people or the friendships that you created for distractions or entertainment, but people in your life that actually show up when you need them. Healing is letting people in. Healing is knowing how to say that I am not okay and not feeling embarrassed because of it. That silence was never strength. It was survival mode. So you have to understand that you have to be willing to choose differently. You have to choose the spaces that feel safe. You have to choose people that consistently check in and not the people that check out because they feel like you're always doing too much. You have to choose community over isolation, connection over self-sabotage. The more you speak up, the more you free yourself. That's healing. That's love. That's growth.
Good morning, and good morning again. Welcome back to It's Due Time with Pastor Steph, and it is Freestyle Friday, y'all. Woo! I don't know about you, but I am really happy that today is Friday. So thank God it's Friday. It's appropriate for Pastor Steph today. Boy, it's been some kind of week. Not great, not bad, not good. It's been okay. But I tell you, we went to a networking event on Wednesday. It was absolutely phenomenal. Oh my goodness gracious. I left there feeling so like exhilarated. So that kind of gave my week a boost. But my boost really comes when I get a chance to say good morning to all of my due time viewers. So if you're in the house, please make sure you give me a shout so I can say hello. I can't see if you're in the room unless you let me know. So we're saying a hearty good morning to Ketty. Hey, Ketty girl. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hello. Good morning, King Terrence. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell Mom we said hi. We miss her. And we hope she's doing well. We got to check in from our girl, Tamika. Hey, Tamika. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope that Miss Grace is hanging out with us this morning and you're doing well, Miss Grace, and you're up and ready to get your day started. And we must say good morning to the ladies that hold it down for us today and every day. Let's say good morning to our girl Anika first this morning because she's on the ones and twos. Good morning. Thank you so much for jumping in as always. And Shantice, thank you, girl. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for all that you do as well. All righty. So, I got to get our trivia on, our celebrity trivia on Friday. And I came across a list of summer movies that we are headlining. So I'm hoping that I come up with some good stuff because I really did look at this list and it would be nice to see some good movies, and not just look at the old school stuff. So let's see what we got going on here. What comes up first? Well, I love Boosters that May 22nd. So it's today. Now, I did see a clip of this just so happened yesterday. And Buddha Riley is back with a new movie. I don't know who Buddha Riley is, but it's starring Keke Palmer, Taylor Page, and Naomi Ackie. This centers around a group of shoplifters who take aim at a cutthroat fashion maven. Riley made Sorry to Bother You. Okay, so I guess that's who that is. And has never once made a safe, creative choice. Whoa. Boy, that was rough. This one is already generating the buzz that tells you it's going to be in the conversation all summer long. So I did see Keke Palmer. Now, the Taylor Page one or the Naomi Ackie, I can't remember who, and I'm normally good with names, but it was somebody's familiar face that I saw. And let me just really, let me see, let me do something here. Yeah, I'm gonna take this time to do this because I like to know what I'm talking about. Taylor Page. Let me see who she is. Oh, okay. Let me tell you who Taylor Page is. Now, Taylor Page has been in movies such as High School Musical 3. She was in Touched. She was in Zola. Some of you might remember her from Zola. We Cry Together, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. Yeah, I remember when I saw her face last night, I was like, because she doesn't strike me as being one of my favorite. Yeah. She was in one of those cheerleader movies. And boy, did she get on my last nerve. I'm trying to find, it was like a series. Hit the Floor. There we go. And did she rattle my ever-loving nerve. She was so annoying in there. And I just, sometimes you watch somebody and you just don't have a taste for them at all. Yeah. Unfortunately, she was one of them. So she's starring in this movie. And I I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it won't be. But Shantice loves Keke Palmer, and we've done a couple of Keke, my 2 cents. And I like Keke Palmer as well, but I'm not great on the comedy. Yeah, that hasn't hit me. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. Scary movie. Now, let's talk quickly about this one. I didn't realize when they were in discussion about bringing Scary Movie back, I thought it was going to be like Scary Movie number 9, whatever number they left off at. And it's not actually. So I think for me, this might be like, phew, because the Wayans are headlining this thing again. This was their baby to begin with, and they said they kind of dropped off later for some number of reasons. But when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, I need to see this one, because who did they show? Crazy Kim. Yeah, Crazy Kim Wayans in the clip. So we got Marlon Wayans back. We've got Sean. We've got Regina Hall, which is my Brenda favorite. I love her. And they said Damon Jr. is coming back. Oh, well, no, he's going to be in it. They said Greg, Kim Wayans again. And whoever the chick who starred in it, the white girl who starred in it, she's back. And they, again, it's spoofy, so they are targeting some movies. And again, their target date is June 5th. So I think I want to pay to see that one. I think I want to see that one. I don't think I would have gone with the other ones where it was a continuation. Nah, that wasn't gonna work. But I'm interested in this one, and I don't actually mind them calling it Scary Movie again. I don't know about y'all, because at one point I was like, well, why they went back to Scary Movie? But you know what? With all the other scary movies, yeah, go back to being authentic. Go back to your baby, and let's see what you can do the next round. So it's been quite a few years. So let's see. Well, the next one I saw, and I did see the trailer for this one, and I was like, I don't know if I want to see that one. Disclosure Day, that's June 12th. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is a Steven Spielberg sci-fi project, and it's headlining Coleman Domingo. And there's an Emily Blunt, there's Josh O'Connor, and they say that Coleman Domingo in a Spielberg sci-fi movie about the first contact, I guess, of people who spot aliens, is a kind of sentence that does not need any additional selling. Now, to who? Because I'm sorry, I ain't interested in that. I saw so I must say, when I saw the preview and the trailer and I saw Coleman Domingo, of course, it got my attention, because of course he's come up, with all the stuff that he's done. And when they showed the rest of it, I was like, oh, okay. And then when it went boom, Disclosure Day, I was like, oh, okay. And then I was in the city the other day and we saw the billboard, and I didn't get that, Shantice, we got to go see that. No. I'm not a sci-fi girl. So anyway, that one is hitting theaters June 12th. Well, The Odyssey, July 17th, Christopher Nolan's project, and Lupita Nyong. Oh, I know I'm saying this name wrong because I ain't never been able to say this name, but I believe she's the one from Black Panther. And they say she plays 2 roles in this one, stepping into the dual parts of Helen of Troy and her sister in what is already being called one of the most significant casting decisions of the year. Now, I hope that because of Sinners and our boy doing the thing in the dual role, because they had kind of died out. Eddie did it, and Martin did it, and some others did it. That was where it landed and ended pretty much. You really haven't seen this dual role thing in a while, and maybe I'm just getting old, y'all. I'm not interested in that. You know what? Let me tell you what I'm interested in. Just give me a good movie. Just please, just a good, authentic movie. I don't want no remake. I don't want no sci-fi. No. After Aliens, they haven't been able to do anything, like Aliens or Alien. But I'm not. Well, Tamika, isn't she the one? Isn't Lupita the one from Black Panther? I think she is. If that's who I'm thinking it is, yes, I love her. She's great. I don't have any problem with her. I don't care. I don't care if they bring Eddie Murphy back. I don't care. Martin Lawrence. Please, I don't need that. Okay, so I am right. Thank you. I don't want this 9 people. Same person, 9 people. I know. Just give me the 90s. I'm sorry. Give me the 2000s early. I'm sorry. Maybe I should have been born now, where I could appreciate what they're bringing out now. But see, when I come from some 70s blockbusters, 80s, 90s, 2000 earlys, nah, you can't bring me no nonsense with no 9 parts in one movie or 2. I'm not interested. I just want to sit and get my popcorn, because that's what I really go to movies for. But I just want to eat my popcorn and enjoy the movie. That's all. All right. God is. Now, I've heard so much about this. I've seen the caption, the whole 9 yards. But can I tell you something? I don't understand what in the world this is. So maybe I need to read this. Well, Janelle Monáe, Sterling K. Brown, Kara Young. Now, the first 2 names I definitely know. I love Sterling K. Brown. He's from he does the Hulu show. I can't think of the name, but I like him. And they have more people. They say, oh Lord, following twin sisters with disfiguring, burn scars who are summoned by the mother they believed long dead to confront the father responsible for their suffering. This is the kind of story that takes no easy exits and demands your full presence as a viewer. Twin sisters. The storyline has not drawn me in. I'll wait for streaming and I might take a chance on that one, but I'm really back. Wait, what day is that coming out? Let me not go to the next. That's coming. Oh, it's out now. Yes, that's why I keep saying it all over the place. Backrooms, starting May 29. Now, this is, and I know I'm not saying this name right, crazy and suspenseful with Chiwetel. Isn't she the one from, what's that? Sinners? Is she the one from Sinners? Ejiofor. They say she's set to headline, and judging the trailer, they claim it feels like something that is going to have audiences on the edge of their seats. She is it's horror mythology. No. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Is that Miss Charlene? Hey, Miss Charlene, what's going on? Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me go back. Tamika says she loves the other young lady from her modeling days. Okay. Well, y'all tell me, are y'all interested in this? What's the name of this movie? Backrooms? Because I'm sure not. All right. Strung which is starting June 26th. Now that's going to be a Peacock movie. I am kind of interested in this one because I did actually read about this one. So this one is a Malcolm D. Lee, Malcolm D. Lee baby. And it's a psychological thriller starring Chloe Bailey as a talented violinist. And this is on my list, so I might as well go ahead and do this now. And they say as she becomes entangled in their world, unsettling secrets begin to surface. And this is from, let's see, Lynn Whitfield and Coco Jones. That's why I was kind of interested in it, because they were in it. So other than that, I wasn't too interested. Little Brother on June 26th, and that's Netflix. Oh, the other one is on Peacock. That one's coming on Peacock with Coco Jones and all of them. So this one is a Netflix movie. And they say that this John Cena has the perfect life, great job, loving family, and thriving career as a real estate agent until his little brother, Marcus, who's played by Eric Andre, crashes back into his world as a full-blown agent of chaos. And it's supposed to be driving John Cena crazy. And I think I saw this preview and I wasn't drawn to it. I'm sorry. You got to do a lot these days. Again, I come from the old school. Now this one is coming out on Netflix on June 26th. 72 Hours, July 24th. Yeah, I think I'm with y'all. Wait, hold on. Let me read my little comments because I'm kind of going on here. We have Viv. Good morning, Viv. Janelle Monáe is already a turnoff. All righty. Anika says, just saw the trailer for this one with Chloe Bailey. I didn't see the trailer, but I did read about it. So I don't know. Hey, Miss Grace, thank you for officially checking in. Glad that you're able to. And Anika says it might be good with Lynn Whitfield. And I'm hoping that it is good, because I thought the same thing. I was like, well, Lynn Whitfield might bring the heat to this one. And we have one more movie that they're talking about, 72 Hours, and that's coming July 24th. And it's a 40-year-old executive hopes to save his flailing career by joining a group of 20-somethings on a wild 3-day bachelor party after he's inadvertently added to their group text. Oh boy. What a non-exciting film summer. Definitely has my hands down. Yeah, I ain't moved, y'all. All righty. Well, like I said, they didn't tapped up into one of my stories. I don't have a whole lot today. And where are my men? Where are my men? They got to get on so I can have something to talk about. And y'all not just talking to me all morning. All righty. So, well, let's see what's going on in our news. Yes. So, how many of you remember ATL with T.I. and Lauren London and what's his name? Evan Ross? Well, they ended up having a reunion, and it's the 20th anniversary for this reunion. And they said that, it was star-studded as they're celebrating, this milestone of this movie. And, just recently I watched it, and this is Shanti's movie. This is Shanti's movie. She loves it. But when I saw actually they had a little quick snapshot of a few of them, T.I., Lauren London, Evan Ross, and I can't think of the other two names, but one of them plays in The Shy. Yeah, he's picked up in the last season or two of The Shy, and he's the one who plays the kid who is secretly going to school, going to like the little bougie school, and he really lives in the hood. Yeah. So he's the one that plays in The Shy now. And they all look really good. They all look really, really good. Evan Ross looks really good. Now, Evan Ross was last, from what I remember, Evan Ross he did well in Star. When that's the series, Fox series, Star, he was good. He was actually, I think he made his debut in ATL. Well, they have all of, the as many as that could come out from the cast was out, and they said they had a star-studded time. I'm glad they're not talking about doing a remake or continuation. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, because leave well enough alone. I think you need to learn to just leave well enough alone and just call it a day. And, so for those of you who, this might be a little boost for you to go back and watch ATL. This might be a little boost for y'all to kind of get stimulated to watch the movie again. Like I said, maybe about a month and a half ago. And I forgot about, what's his name? Michael T. Williamson. I think that's his name. He is an old school actor, y'all, and he flies under the radar quite often. He's the one who played the uncle that Evan Ross and T.I. lived with. But I'm telling you, I was watching him as a kid, and I think he was on Righteous Apples. I think that's what it was called. And listen, I'm going back sometime because this is when you used to have to turn your TV to you and then turn it to 21 or 25 or 31, one of them. And he was there. He was on that. And he was good back then. He really attracted my attention back then. And, like I said, he flies under the radar. He was in Waiting to Exhale and what's that, Holiday Hard. And he is in a lot of movies. And low-key good. He's really, really good. And I really wish he maybe he still can, get a prominent role. I think, just push him out there and see, give him something a little media. I think, he would do a really good job. Anika says, the storyline is so blah. And I agree. Nothing hype. Tamika says, God is. She's not looking forward to it. Oh, Terrence says, ATL was cool. It really was. And I see skating is from my day. We used to hit the rink all the time. So when I see, and they doing their little dance and stuff like that. Oh, Tasha Smith was in it. Oh my gosh. She is authentic. I don't care who she plays. She is quite authentic. So you would get a really good an enjoyment in looking at that. Anika says, love ATL. Also, favorite line, Little Big Brother. What'd she say? Wow, Pastor Steph, not the U channel. Yes. I used to watch that U channel, girl, because 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13 was not always working. How did I remember that off the top of my head? Yeah, that's all you were going to get on regular TV. But if you went to that U channel, we used to watch the wrestling on channel 47. It was all Spanish, but all you need to do was see the TV. You didn't have to worry about what they were saying. Lucha Libre is what it was called. And you would watch that. That's how we picked up on videos. Initially, yeah, it was on the U channel. So, child, I can tell y'all some stuff. All right, what else are we talking about? Like I said, I don't think the celebrity news was all that hot and great, but I got a little bit to talk about. Let's see what else is coming up on my radar. If the iPad wants to act right. All right. Okay, so for those of you who like The Breakfast Club, and The Breakfast Club is Charlamagne and Just Hilarious and DJ Envy. And they are now, I don't know if you noticed, but on Netflix, they have their show is airing on Netflix. Well, it's post-show, I believe. Well, they're getting a boost because the Breakfast Club is going live on Netflix. Yeah. Now, same lineup, same Charlamagne, DJ Envy, and Just Hilarious. So starting June 1st, every weekday, they're going to be live. And they say this is not the first live show that Netflix has aired, but I don't believe it's on anymore, whatever that show was. But they're really looking forward to the Breakfast Club, really sparking, I guess, some additional viewership. Now, I guess maybe what they did was they kind of maybe did like a little teaser and showed it and saw how many people would watch it. And I guess maybe they got what they were looking for. It's still going to be on Power 105 FM, so they're not taking it away from here. At least that's how it's aired here in New York. So they're still gonna, still do their thing. Now check this out. They're saying that Charlamagne alone struck a deal with, let me make sure, with iHeartMedia, which now that's who's behind the Breakfast Club. He struck a 5-year, $200 million deal with iHeartRadio. Yo. Now, I don't know what Charlamagne is bringing for 200 million over 5 years. So that's what? 40 million a year? Am I reading that right? Yeah. It says the Breakfast Club, Charlamagne himself signed a 5-year, $200 million deal with iHeartRadio around the same time, cementing this Netflix deal. Now, he ain't got to move from his chair. Is that what Jimmy Fallon and them are paid? Because if Charlamagne the God, as they call him, and I purposely don't use that full term. If Charlamagne is getting 40 million a year, somebody tell me if I'm doing this math right. Because I wasn't great at math, but I was good at math. And 5 years into 200 million is 40 million. To sit in a chair and talk, Lord have mercy. I want my 20 mil. Because I don't do the 4 hours that he does. But to Terrence says, no, Terrence, okay, you know what? I'm going to talk about this with my men. Terrence says he's a very smart man with his craft. Terrence, I'm sorry. I don't care how smart you are. You are sitting in a chair talking. Now, Pastor Steph does it 2 hours a day. I ain't Charlamagne. Maybe I ain't as smart as Charlamagne, according to you. I'm all right with that. But $40 million a year. Somebody do the math for Stephanie and tell me how much that is a month. So if we're paid monthly, how much is this? Yo, I'm quitting anything else I do. I'm going into this full time, because if you can get paid $40 million, now listen, don't write me talking about you hating and all that stuff. That ain't got nothing to do with it. And I'm happy that we can get that kind of money. But yo, that's a lot of money. And I'm not seeing Charlamagne like traveling and and maybe behind the scenes he is. But yo, I'm underpaid. Oh my God. says, you do it 2 hours a day and we love it just as much as they love him. You know what? You trying to get on my good side. Go ahead, Terrence. You just did it. I forgive you. I forgive. I love you. I love you, Terrence. My heart is, you see my heart underneath my t-shirt? You got me. You got me. You got me. Thursdays alone, you did it your 4 hours. No, Friday's here with the men. I need to be paid that 40 mil. Oh my goodness gracious. Anika says, I'm not a Charlamagne fan. He's the Wendy Williams to me, making money just talking about other people. And you know what? Don't forget, he comes from under Wendy Williams. When she was, I think when she was on 90, no, was she on BLS? I think when she was on BLS, he was under her. Yeah. And then everybody went east and west. So yeah, I think he started, I know he started under her, but I'm trying to remember whether it was 97 or was BLS, but I think it was BLS. But yeah, Tamika says, I want my money and I want it now. Yes. Yo, somebody sent me $40 million. Now listen, I will tell y'all, all jokes aside, just 2 hours every morning, I have to take a nap. Yo, for real. At my deficiency, I have to take a nap after the show, because baby, talking 2 hours ain't nobody's joke. And you know, it's not scripted, so you got to really be on your A game, because you got to make sure you're listening to everything everybody's saying, and you don't know what somebody's going to say. So you don't, you know, again, there's no script here. And they start from like 5. They do from 5 to 10. So trust me when I tell you, I'm not downplaying what they do. And, you know, I'm like, Lord, if I have to take a nap after 2 hours, y'all couldn't see me for the rest of the day. Y'all would be seeing me for the rest of the day if I had to do from 5 to 10. Oh my gosh. Well, here's the other thing. And I do want to mention, because I'm like, how do they do it? Well, first of all, they play music. So part of, their show is music based. It's not talk. We're straight talk for 2 hours. Not only that, it's 3 of them. Not only that, sometimes they have a guest. So, or a lot of times they have a guest. So they're not it's not as stringent on them to just do a 5-hour talk show, because I got to tell you, this 2 hours that goes into this is a wholehearted 2 hours. So, like I said, I don't downplay what they're doing. And, and I'm happy that we can get this kind of money. And I'm like, let me tell you something, we have come up when we can get this kind of money just for talking. Because sometimes, you listen, some people are paid $20 million to do a full featured show, and they're doing action and traveling and jumping out of cars and jumping out of planes and crashing and getting hit and fighting scenes and all that. So if Charlamagne can get this 40, did anybody do the math for me? I'm serious. Somebody do the math for me. Did I miss the math? No, I didn't miss the math. Tamika, get that phone out, girl. Do the math for me. Tell me how much that is a month. I just need to know. Now I know what to go and pray for. Listen, if Charlamagne can get 40 million for talking about people, I should be able to get 80 million for drawing souls to Christ. Oh my goodness. But yeah, yo, that alone is a definite no. How much is he getting a month, girl? That's how much he's getting a year. Because he signed a 5-year deal for 200 million. So that's 40. How much is that a month? Tara says he really got in that position from Wendy, and he made so many connections. Yeah. Because let me tell you something. If you're smart, you're on the set with Wendy. So there's nothing that says you can't connect, because like I told you, we went to a networking event on Wednesday, and the room is your oyster. You listen, if you're smart, you'll work in the room. And I tell you, the reason why I say it was amazing is because we really made some dynamic connections. Oh my gosh, we made some dynamic connections. So I know Charlamagne, and remember now, that's not my thing, that's his thing. So I'm sure he made some dynamic connections, and let me tell you something, connections make connections. Once you speak to so-and-so and they're connected to so-and-so, then that just moves on. So okay, here we go, I got the breakdown. Okay, 1.6 million a month from Ainsley. Yo, Ains, we got to talk about this thing. 40 million, so 40,000 a year. 40 million a year comes out to exactly $769,230.70 per week before taxes, assuming a standard week a year. Wow. Where my money at? Yeah. Yo, this is, you know what? Good for you, Charlamagne. Good for you. If you can get them people to write you a check for that, you go and do your thing. Yes, connections is no joke. Look how we met. Yes. Terrence, what you trying to do to my heart? Are you trying to impress mom because she's on here today? Yo, yes, connections are great. Terrence was brought to me through someone else, and neither one of us have that someone else. But there's no middleman anymore, but Terrence has connected to my heart permanently. And now I got mom. So yeah, connections are amazing. So I do agree with you. All right, y'all. I don't think I have much else to talk about on that line, for our, our thing, our news. I do have something that I want to talk about, but it's with all of my men. Where's Ainsley at? Come on, let's get to talking, Ains.
What up? Happy Friday morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, you got to get your paycheck, because you get yours 20 mil, you get your 1.6 a mil. Everybody else at least can get a quarter mil a year, a part of the cash. Come on now, let's get it.
And I'll share. I'm spreading the pennies.
That's all yours. Everybody get their own individual contract. That's all. That's all yours.
Okay. Oh, I ain't got to share.
That's yours.
Well, but I owe you. I owe you for 30 years worth. So I can't.
No, we even got to go back. We can start from right now. Listen, the Breakfast Club, I think, of my understanding, they each worked out their own individual deal. On the platform they were, they did each DJ Envy, what's the name? They all did their own individual deal to sign on to this.
Okay. Now I got a question. Not hating, because I don't want nobody to talk about we hating. What do you think about this 200 million over 5 years and equates to 40 million a year? What do you think about that for this particular type job?
Yeah, well, listen, you got to look at it this way. What is your worth, your value with the product and service that you provide, and the audience that you are connected with and that you bring? And so people want to pay for that. Now it's not so much work hard, work at the factory 30, 40 hours a week, that kind of thing. It's
right.
To media, it's more brand, that kind of thing. It's more technology inclusive and stuff like that. So the thinking is different, and it's way different. I just seen a video late last night. Corey Henry, he was talking about, man, he said back in the day, besides being a good musician, he wanted to be, but he was into his video games, and he said he wished he had to continue with the video games because video game players, they making millions of dollars. People are paying them to watch them play a video game. And we were told, enough
Wow.
of that. That's enough. Leave that alone. Nah, people are making
Right.
cool money off of video games. So it's a different dynamic. But yeah, so yeah, I would think we're only one blessing away from if it's in God's will. We'll get them kind of dollars because you got that kind of reach. We've been doing that. We've been at this for a while.
Man, and I think we're a little older than Charlamagne too, so we've been at this a little while longer.
Oh yeah.
So I don't. And here's the thing: we don't do it for the money. This is not our thing. You know what I'm saying? I remember back in the day when we were working and doing this stuff on the side.
Yeah.
So we know what it is to double down. So if we were to be blessed like that, that would be like amazing, because now
Most
to
definitely.
actually sit and focus on this thing is really, really, really,
Yeah,
a
and you know
lot.
what? A lot of people don't realize. Not really. People just see, the broadcast, but people don't see what goes on behind it. There's a lot of
Right.
preparation that
Right.
you got to
Right.
do. I know
Right.
you got to, study for what topics what you're going to bring, and you got to make the connection for whoever's going to be on the air and stuff
Right.
like that. So
Right.
it's
Right.
more than just turn the camera on and we on. Voila.
Right.
There's a
Right.
lot more preparation into it. Man, I don't
Right.
watch wrestling
Absolutely.
stuff like that. I don't see it occasionally, but I know there's some things that there things are prepped or prepared for. I mean, he got
Right.
called the
Right.
donkey of the day.
Right. Right. Right.
And
Right.
it is
Right.
very, it's very interesting, and most of them I can kind of agree with it, but it's scripted.
Okay.
It's time to write that out. So there's a lot of
Right.
preparation that goes in.
Right.
So people just say, "Oh, it's just the 2 hours." Nah, it's your years of experience,
That's right. That's right.
everything you're going through, to make it seem like, oh, this is just to you, but there's a lot that goes on to this.
It is.
The
And
token
just
of
like I said
effort you have
earlier.
right now. Yeah.
Right. That's what I said. Even just the consistent talking, just making sure you're paying attention to what other people are saying. You're multitasking. You're reading comments. I mean, that stuff seems like minor, but when you have to do this kind of stuff, on a regular basis. So I don't underestimate what they're doing at all. I just did not realize it was worth 40 million a year. I really didn't. I guess, I'm really out of sync in a sense.
So
But
that way, when iHeart calls you and they say, "Listen, we seen something y'all did. We want to put you on." Now you have an
right.
idea.
That's right. That's right. I want my 40 mil. I don't care about Charlamagne talking to the big people. I'm talking to the big person up there.
Right there.
I want 40 mil too. Yeah, this definitely gives you a good idea as what is really going on out here. So really, good for him. Good for him.
Mhm.
I'm wondering what Envy and Just Hilarious is. What they
Envy
have
up there
signed for.
too. Hilarious. She getting they doing all right. Is what you gonna say. They all doing all right.
Okay.
They all right.
Good for them. And they're young black people. So give it up. Terrence says, I guess I need some for all the comments. And some of Shantice's money. It's like the news we need. I can't see. I need to live. We all need healing. Amen. Where's Pastor Jeff? Did I see him come in the room? Hey there, Pastor Jeff.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
All right.
Good morning, bro.
Good.
I'm good. My New York Knicks is good. I'm good.
There you go.
Go Knicks. Yes. They are kicking butt. And I am really, really happy that they are kicking butt. I got a little nervous there last night, but they're kicking butt. All right, so Pastor Jeff, $40 million a year for Charlamagne from the Breakfast Club. What's your thought?
My thought is, I heard the name Charlamagne. I don't know who that is.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I came on late to hear about some 40 million. I just kept hearing 40 million, but What's that about?
You thought I was saying that's what we gonna get paid next week?
That's what I'm saying. I was hearing the Ainsley talk about getting $250,000 or something, and I was
Well,
for 30 years of friendship, and I was wondering what I could get for a couple of years of
I
friendship.
got you. I got you, Pastor Jeff. I got you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
you in this,
I
bro.
got you. Yes, I got you. I got you. So the Breakfast Club is a show on 105.1 FM. And they've been on for quite some time now. And they are now going to be live on Netflix. Netflix is now, they have them on now, but that's like their syndicated show. And now they've signed a deal to do the Breakfast Club live. Well, they mentioned that at the same time they were signing this deal for the with iHeartRadio and Netflix, they had already signed a deal with Charlamagne, he came up under Wendy Williams, and they offered him for 5 years, over 5 years, $200 million, which equates to $40 million a year. And I was like, yo, that is crazy. So just asking, what you all thought of it. And, so it's like like the DJs, like we've always known, them to do, they talk and they do interviews and things like that. So, this is their paycheck these days, Pastor Jeff.
Well, I mean, listen, my thoughts on it, get it. You know what I'm saying? Wish that was my paycheck.
Child. They always say be careful what you wish for, because, most of us get this kind of money and we're still broke at the end of the day. And, Lord knows I wouldn't be. I'd still be looking at the coupons and the sales.
Listen,
I'd still be looking at.
I don't think I waste my time with no coupons.
Yeah, that's all right.
Or no sales.
That's all right.
All right. I know what to do with that type of money now.
I do too, but I'm gonna have a few extra dollars over you because I'm going for the sales. That's all right. You can be rich all you want.
No, that type of money,
for the
I ain't got no time to be cutting no coupons.
That's all right. I will. It's okay. I'll cut them for you, and I'll take them extra little pennies that you giving away. All right. Tamika says Jess Hilarious has been going on morning talk shows for self-promotion. Yeah, she's a comedian, and she's been doing what she does. She took Angela Yee's place, and Angela Yee moved on to her own show. And Jess Hilarious took her spot. So, we'll see how long, they'll last, because it started with the three of them, with Envy, Charlamagne, and Angela Yee. And they went on for quite some years. So we'll see how long this lasts for. Jess, I know she's been doing a lot of spots, to really promote who she is. So hopefully, she'll be able to get a nice little paycheck as well. I got something for you guys, and I want to know. It's funny, Ainsley, that you brought up video games, because do they have a video game? They have a video game which they are calling a plantation simulator. So the video game is officially called Plantation Simulator. And they say it's simply farming simulator where you motivate workers to pick your crops and maintain a beautiful farm by repairing fences to keep workers focused. And how do they do that? How do they keep their workers focused? They show a white plantation owner keeping his workers focused by whipping what appears to be enslaved Black people. So we went from paying $40 million a year to the video game. Now, Ainsley, you just got finished saying that the video games, those players are paid millions of dollars to be viewed. And here you have a plantation simulator game. And what's your thought?
That's crazy. That just shows the mentality of the greed of the business world with no sense of moral compass. You know, it just goes with the tide of this whole bias, how things are going on, you know, from number 47, wanting to take things back. That's the era, you know, the thinking tends to want to put us black people in, you know. So it's like you want to go back. How far you want to go back? So it's now in the gaming world, you want to go back to slavery. All right. So I would like to see this. I wish in this game I could change the character around. Let it be an African slave master with a bunch of white slaves. Y'all go there and pick my cotton. You know what I'm saying? You know how you feel about that? You know what I'm saying? Pick my cotton and, you know, show it in reverse. You know, I think it's terrible. There's no moral compass and whatnot.
All righty. Pastor Jeff, it's on you.
Well, listen, my man Trump is making America. I didn't say great again. I said he's making America again. But this stuff is getting on my nerves. It gets me so angry. I don't even know what to do. I'm like, Lord, it just seems like, you know, it seems like we're helpless. But I know the scripture, if my people are called by my name, you know, we'll humble ourselves, seek his face, then he'll hear from heaven. But I just looking at what's going on, you know, that just reminded me of what Trump trying to pay these people, getting 1.8 billion or whatever to pay the people with that insurrection stuff and Giuliani and all of that, and, you know, reimburse them. And our reparations, you know, they don't give a heck, and then they keep lynching us, and they keep wanting to go back to, you know, to slavery again and all of that. You know, I just, you know, I don't even know what to say to that, man. You gonna make a video game? You know,
yeah,
I should make. But see, you know, I got, you know, white people that I care about, and I got, you know, white folks in my family. You get what I'm saying? But it makes me want to make a game where I'm, you know, where I'm going, where in the game I'm shooting at, or you know.
You like Ainsley. Ainsley says reverse the roles. Okay.
And he don't want to say it, but yeah, I get you, bro. You ain't got to say it. I hear you. I say it for you, your mouthpiece. Yeah.
All right.
Exactly. I hear you.
Well,
you know what gets to me more about
Wait. Hold on. Before you go there, Pastor KL has just joined us. So wait. Hold that thought, Ains. Hold that thought.
All right.
Good morning, Pastor KL.
Good morning. Let me say, I don't know what Ainsley talking about. I want our 40 million starting from when I first met you. I met you during production. I met you. We ain't starting from today. The devil is a liar. What ain't he talking about today? We ain't doing nothing today. We on a talk show. I did some hard production when I first met you. Sleepless nights. 40 million belongs to me. All right, I digress. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now that you got that off your chest.
That was burning on him, little boy.
Yeah. He couldn't wait. He didn't give us a good morning. He's going back to Tamika's. I want my money and I want it now.
That's right. Listen, when I did your show, I was really saved by grace. Now I want the grace.
Oh my good. We're gonna get it. Don't worry about it. I got you. All right. The video game, the Plantation Simulator. What say you, Pastor KL? They showing the master whipping their people into shape by, to pick the cottons, to build the fences. And is this good?
No, this is not good. But you know what? This is what I would say, because Pastor Jeff quoted that wonderful scripture. But in that scripture, it says, turn from your wicked ways. Then will I hear from heaven. A lot of them and a lot of us have not turned from our wicked ways, and we expect God to be doing so much for us. It's the same us who are upset about this situation who's going to play the game. They're going to be caught up in the game. They're not going to look at what it is for what it is. It's just a game, and they have to conquer the game. Those are wicked ways. How do you want God to bless a mess?
Oh, wow. Pastor KL said we're going to play the game. Well, who is this we? I love to see who this we is.
They're going to play the game. They're going to play. They're gonna be so mad while playing it. They're gonna conquer it, but that's gonna be their motivation to win the game.
If I see somebody doing, if I go in the store, I see somebody got this game in their basket, I'm taking it out.
The worst part of that is you'll see some black folks playing the game.
This is what I'm
That's
saying.
what he's talking about.
Jeff. Talk about master whipping.
No, that's what he's talking about. That's why I said, who are these people? Because, unfortunately, you have those individuals, first of all, who would buy the game just so they could see it. Dummy. Mm-hmm. You've already put money into their pocket. So yeah, that's who he's talking about. Ainsley, you were going to say something before I stopped you.
Yeah. Here's the hypocrisy of it all on whatnot from the other side of the fence. All right, so here we are now. Y'all want to take every instance of Black history, every instance that shows the slavery. You want to take the books, history book, Black Indian, out because it's too traumatic.
Right.
For the younger generation.
Yeah.
You don't want them to know about, it's like race style history. You want to know about the beat and all that kind of stuff. But here we go. But now you want to now put this on display. Like it's okay to show this part. But for us, it's no. We can beat y'all, but no.
Yeah.
No. You got it's so very hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? So I think thing is we need to take one way you can go about it. You got to take the profit out of it. There should be no Black people doing this. There should be an outcry about it.
Absolutely. They make noise for other stuff. We make noise for other stuff. And, I was actually going to bring that story to you guys today about them removing the book Roots and other historical writings because they thought that it was traumatizing, like you said, Ains.
But they could put Mein Kampf in there all over the place.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And I'm like, yo, traumatizing the who? Listen, you just want, it's almost like the Jews who get mad when you say that they killed Christ because they're like, that wasn't us, that was the Romans. Right. You were behind the whole thing. So they don't want you mentioning that they had anything to do with that. Well, it's the same thing. And like you said, now to flip it and now make a game about, plantation simulation. So it's all, the same. There's nothing different. We got some comments. Terrence says that game better be a joke. Nope, it's not, Terrence. A nigga said, what? Always finding ways to make slavery palatable. Shanti says, any and everyone who takes the time to play that game out of sorts, nothing positive about that game. And to me, nothing amusing. Okay. Anika says they are banging on the younger generations, not realizing what they're playing just to make the money. Terrence says, I agree with Pastor KL because the ones playing it will be the generation because they don't know about slavery. And that's why they want to take it out to school. And so let me ask y'all, do you honestly believe that our Gen Zs or our alphas, because that's what we're talking about, they don't really know about slavery? Do you really think that that's been removed from their knowledge, Pastor Jeff?
I mean, they know about it, they hear about it, but they have not really delved into it. Like, we got exposed to roots,
Right.
Right.
and that opened
Right.
our eyes.
Big time.
I mean, you know, so at the right age, I think I was like in the 5th and 6th grade. That came out, and that changed me, man. You know, I started beating white people up at school. You know what I'm saying? I did.
Pastor KL was hanging together.
I got kicked out of. My mother had me going to almost an all-white private school during that time, and they put me out. Because they said something about slavery, and I had just finished watching Roots, and they said that the teacher was teaching the class that they did black people a favor by bringing us out of there because we were living in caves and getting all kinds of diseases. And I went off, you know, and one of the white students in the class, he jumped up and I popped him, and then they jumped me, and then the teacher hit me, and I hit the teacher with a chair. The white teacher hit me.
Oh.
And they fired him. He out the school.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, a Jeff story. There you go.
I was just getting ready to say the same thing, Ace. I was like, we got that story this week.
I'll tell you the school too, Redeemer Lutheran, out there in Bayside, Queens. That was the school my mother had me go to.
They've been redeemed.
Wow.
They told my mother, I don't think he like us here. You know, it'd be better he goes to another school.
Wow. They didn't realize what they were throwing away, right, Pastor Jeff?
Oh, they didn't. Because I went back to public school, and then I went on to Brooklyn Technical High School, you know.
They tried
Okay.
to send Pastor Jeff to Planet of the Apes Elementary.
All right. Tamika says another way of making wrong seem right and normalizing it. Pastor KL, you know, do you really believe that our younger generations don't know about slavery?
Yes, I do. I think they heard of him. How many people heard about Jesus but don't know about him? They heard about him but don't know him. You know, listen, I look at it from the other standpoint. You know, look when we first started. Oh, we ain't supposed to go to Walmart. We ain't supposed to go to Target because we're going to stand for something. There's more Negroes in Walmart and Target today. Well, we ain't standing no more. We going to stand for something for the first hour, for the first 2 hours. You know, Amazon is still making a whole lot of money off of us. You know, we come together for a minute. We kumbaya for a minute. You know, 9/11, we kumbaya. All the preachers came together for a minute. Preachers ain't coming together no more. So this is just a fad that black folks go through. I hate to say it, but it's just a fad. You know, we start something, but we don't finish it.
Okay. All righty. Ainsley, do you feel that our younger generations know nothing about slavery?
I think they don't know enough. I think there's a loss in the connection. Like Brother Jeff said, you know, Roots was very compelling. It put on TV, it was like visually, we had an idea what our ancestors went through. And if you're like me, you know, I can imagine my oldest relative, my great grandmother, was, I think, just born right out of slavery. You know, we probably knew somebody who was just in that era, that Emmett Till era. They went through that kind of stuff. Nowadays, the young kids, they just know about it. I think if it's got to be more instilled, then, you know, so there's more of an expectation that we need to do better. I think there's a loss of our history, you know, and, you know, people take it for granted. I understand some people think, oh, like for voting, oh, I'm going to vote for, things not going to change and blah, blah, blah. But but first of all, look how many of our people died, all the hell they had to go through just the opportunity to vote. And here you go again. Now you got the opportunity to, and you're going to dishonor their work and whatever they work towards, and say, no, I'm not going to even vote and whatnot. I mean, you're
Mhm.
taking away the progress that we've made. You know, even if it might not seem like it's useless, but it's not. If it was useless, you wouldn't see gerrymandering going on right now. Seriously. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Okay.
So I think the youth I think there needs to be more of a connect, and that's the main reason why. For one reason, you want to take out the visual and the books. You know, is to keep our history out. It's basically trying to erase our history. You know,
Okay.
so I think
Okay.
it's all in the plan for them.
Okay. Let me read these comments before I make my statement. Anika says they try to teach slavery like it was just low paid servitude, not the brutality it was. Exactly, Pastor Jeff. Come through with the personal story. Tamika says the youth believe that slavery happened centuries ago. They do see how prevalent it still is today. All righty. Oh, she says they do not see how prevalent it is today. So my thought is, I think maybe Tamika said it, because my thought is they do know about slavery, but I think these generations, the appreciation, if you will, and I'll use that word, of anything, I don't think they value much. I think this generation now, it's like if they don't experience it, it's not real to them. If they don't experience it, it doesn't mean as much to them. This is a very emotional set of people. God Lord, everybody's mad, everybody crying, everybody's in an uproar over the wrong stuff. I don't think, for whatever the reason is, because that's a whole different show. They don't have an appreciation unless it's personal. And, when you talk about slavery, they talk about now. They think, how are we enslaved now? They don't think about where it was when it started up to where we are now, and how we have a modern day level of slavery. So if you use the topic of voting, a lot of, we couldn't wait to vote. That was something we couldn't wait to exercise, that ability to vote. These ones now, they listen to it for 5 minutes, and if they can't make a decision, quote unquote, or they can't figure it out, they don't go anywhere near the voting poll. So it's like, okay, so again, if it doesn't hit them personally, it has little to no value. And that's the problem I see. I don't think it's that they don't know slavery. I don't think they care to know slavery, because it's not touching them. Now, if you want to ask them, are you enslaved now? Yeah, we can't do this. Yeah, that's the way they'll address it. For the four of us here, we can take you back to what we saw in Roots, even if it was just a visual. We didn't personally experience it. Now, maybe our grandmothers didn't, or grandfathers didn't experience it personally. But our grandparents were living in an era where they did experience, racism and the brutality and the hoses and the dogs and the segregation. That was slavery. And that was brought into our world. And we felt the impact. And we follow through on the impact. We stand for something. I can't tell you how many times I have gotten mad at my youngest girl. I'm like, you going to vote with us? No, you get up, put your clothes on, you're going to vote. No, you're not squandering this opportunity. I don't care what you do, because I'm going to give you hell on the back end. And so now, the times when other times you say, okay, yeah, I'm going to vote. So we all go as a family. And I think that's what is crucial that we do in my home. Because if I were to leave Tamasia, there were times when again, there's no value. If it don't hit you personally, it gets washed off. So,
you know what too. Now I gotta admit, we gotta admit we have a more appreciation for the history as we got older, as life started
Right.
hitting us.
Right.
Then we take
Right.
a more broader approach. I'm at 18, 19, 20. I know about importance of voting, blah, blah, blah. But as you get older in life, you see more of the
Right.
impact of the history it has on what we're doing right now. And we learn more.
Right.
That's the thing. We're learning more stuff that we didn't know about our history and stuff like that.
Right.
So as a
Right.
young person,
Right.
I mean, I guess there is an inherent ignorance, if you will, but still, something has to be more in line, like just as expectation. All right, our ancestors got it this far. We got it this far. It's your job. It's your responsibility. It's your duty to
Carry it.
our people and to our culture to move things forward for a community mind. It ain't about just me, myself, and I. You didn't get here by yourself. By the grace of God. We went through all those horrors, stuff that we would never know about. But the stuff we do know is horrendous. But thank God we're not there now. But still,
Right.
look, if the enemy have it that way, we'll go right back to those same situations all over again.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If we don't learn the history, you're bound to repeat it.
Absolutely. All right. Serge says, good morning. When it comes to slavery, they try to wash it away, and some Black people don't care about the history to know it because they see getting money or that they are not being whipped. Yeah, again, it's not personal. It's like, oh, yeah, that was messed up. And then they move on. It's not. It's not personal. Pastor Jeff, your son, what does he think of the voting process? Has he been to vote?
I had to force him to vote in the last election, but he had just turned old enough to vote. I had to kind of force him, so he went with us. Now I don't know what he's going to do this time around, but it's like, they don't see it. But as he keep getting pulled over by the police car, he's starting to recognize that this is real.
Okay.
But he's been sheltered too much. But I don't know why, because I've been telling my stories and what happened to me, and how many times I've been pulled over by the police, how many times they done put their guns on me coming up, and all of that. But I'm afraid for him out there. That's why I'm always praying and pleading the blood. Because he a lot of them just walking around like it don't exist. But see, Trump is waking folks up. He's showing how this country really feel about us.
Right. Right.
So
right.
Go with it. Yeah.
These young folks is gonna they're gonna see it, because Trump is giving these white folks a boldness to bring all of that out into the open.
It's funny because this I don't think she voted this, and I was, oh my gosh, when I tell you I raised hell up in here. I was like, what do you mean you didn't vote? And she kind of stopped talking because I think she kind of let it slip. It wasn't her intent to let me know that. And I explained to her almost like what you just said. I said, listen, you're 28, you're 27 years old. You're gonna feel this quicker than I will. You gonna feel this quicker than I will, because the things that matter to you are going to be affected. You need to make sure, because you have no mouth in this. You have no say if you had no voice. You didn't exercise your voice. So now you're stuck because you didn't vote. And it's because if they don't feel that immediate impact, it just doesn't matter. So you're talking about your son who's getting pulled over, and the connection. You have to make the connection for them. You have to remind them that, okay, here's a chain and a domino effect of how we vote, who we vote for, if we don't vote. You have to really break this down for them. And, to your point, Ains, of, when we were younger and we didn't understand, we had that innocent ignorance, if you will. It's different than they are. to me, I see it differently. I didn't see us as, oh, it don't affect me, so I'm not bothering. I don't see, I don't remember us being there. And maybe y'all, y'all can. But when I was their age, and like I said, although you're right, there was things that we didn't understand. And that's just life. As you
Right.
go on in life, you just
Right.
understand things. But to me, their attitude is different than our attitude was then. They have that attitude, like I said a little while ago. It didn't hit me. So you got Jeff's son who's constantly being pulled over by the police. You would hope that the connections are being made. But unfortunately, unless we're there to point out the connecting points, they're not making the connection. So this is kind of scary. Tamika says, let's remember the fight made for even to get the right to vote. Right. That's what we talk about all the time during voting time. And Ainsley just brought that up. Yeah, this wasn't an easy process. When Jesse Jackson passed away, we talked, I gave a story about some of the stuff that he did, even in this very area. So we do downplay and minimize, the effect that our, ancestors had on this whole voting thing. And, now that you've got this simulator, this plantation simulator, no holds barred at all. I'll ask this question. What do you think we can do? Because one of you said, I think it was Ainsley, who said, what we need to do, or maybe it was KL. What do you think we can do about this plantation simulator now, Pastor Jeff? Or can we do anything?
I don't know, because I'm looking at all this stuff going on, and I'm like, what can we do? How come we're not stopping it? How come we're not revolting? I don't know. I pray. I got to get spiritual. God, I need your help.
Okay. Anika says it's going to be felt now. The fight for voting again will be needed again as they water down rights with all the gerrymandering. All right. Pastor KL, let's see. Can we hear you? How's your audio?
Are you frozen?
Is he frozen?
Hear me?
All right. No. Yep. Bye. We've been going through this with him all week, unfortunately. Ainsley, do you think we can do something about it?
Yeah.
If we can, what?
I think this is what I think what as a church an idea what we can do in general. I would think that will have a hand in this, right? Years ago, just right before the pandemic, the church I was playing at, Bethsaida, right? I think it was Black History, right? What they did this time, because you had have a very, several, young people, middle age, older, stuff like that. So they just had about 5 of some of the seniors, I'll say our seniors, right? And they just want to talk about the stuff they went through. And I was surprised because a lot of one of the mothers, she's so sweet, man. A Deaconess Hollandhead. So you meet some people, their spirit is so loving, you just want to hug on them. And
Okay.
and when she said, she was there in the area when the Emmett Till thing jumped off. And when you actually see somebody who's telling you from first-hand experience what they went through and whatnot, it's not so much as this thing I see on TV or heard about. You see somebody physically, you can hear it's something more personalized. You see somebody telling you directly what happened. We see somebody telling you directly, from the Emmett Till, seeing the color whites only, the bathroom getting on the back of the bus, all these things that they share their experience with, it becomes more, I think it becomes more real. But some things even though as much as I knew, a lot of stuff I didn't know, and it was really eye opening for everybody from all ages. Even the young people say, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Hope we don't go back to those. Maybe the young. I mean, like preteens. Say, oh man, I didn't know things was that bad and stuff like that. So I think from a church standpoint, if you have those kind of elders in your church, you can have them share those experiences because it was the first time my dad did it. Pandemic came and that things changed up, but I think that's one of the resources you have right there. People who have personal experience. People say who come from down south and move to New York, and share that with the young people in a group form. I think that's something we can do. Because to me, it was very eye opening. I've seen it from from everybody. It was very eye opening.
Okay.
That's
Almost
an
like a
idea.
Miss Ethel did in the bar.
Right.
Because
Well, it was
she
like a
had a
whole panel,
captivated,
so-
right.
Right.
And she had a captivated audience. Those were young people, and
Right.
but they were interested in hearing what
Mhm.
she had to say. Okay. Tamika says Pastor KL needs incentive from that 40 mil to get back on the broadcast. Well, I don't know when he gonna get back on, child, because we ain't got nothing near that 40 mil. Serge says we can do something about teaching our kids to remember how they treated their ancestors. Just because it's not visible doesn't mean it doesn't still exist. It's just in a different way now. And, we have to see it. We have to show them. So that was kind of, what I thought about, guys? I thought about, there was a couple of stories we did here of in the school during Black History Month, there were certain things done by some white teachers and the school was in an uproar. And one of the things that was done was they had 2 doors, and one was white only and one was Black only. And the school was your parents were in an uproar, and the teachers were reprimanded for doing that. And there was another instance of something similar to that, when it kind of took them back in the day. And that to me would be something good. I think that would be poignant. I think if we were to take these kids back, first of all, most of them are very privileged. Sneakers and clothing and all of this kind of stuff, much different than the lives we lived or the life we lived. So they don't even know how we lived, much less how our ancestors lived. And I think if it were to be made real to them somehow, even adding, so you talk about it, and I think that would be good, just letting them hear or seeing some video. Listen, they looking at TV and movies, show them some roots. And one of the things that I did, I have my congregation has always been younger people, and I started them to watching Roots until somebody hid the video. They just trifling. Somebody hid the video. But I started showing them Roots. You need to see, I don't care what your parents have shown you, God has moved me to give you a snapshot of what life was really like. And I threatened to bring it back so we could really, really look at it. They're not as young anymore, because that was a good maybe 10 years ago that I did that. But I think if we were to kind of create an environment where they had to live in this, then maybe this would shake things up. So you have the elders talking, you have the video, the footage, and then you have, this whole lifestyle shift. I think that makes it real to them. And I don't think, again, it doesn't affect them. It's not real to them. So I think if we were to make those 3, touching those 3 areas, it just may hit the mark. And it may not affect everybody, because nothing ever affects everyone.
Yeah,
But
Black History
definitely,
tour. The tour from the people
yeah,
from the north come down. You can see the plantation. This is where a lot of our ancestors. See why there's a lot of Smith, because the master name was Smith. So everybody was associated with the name Smith and Johnson. You see this tree right here? Yeah, this is where they used to hang people at and whatnot. This is where this used to happen over here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But wait, I got a question. Have either you been to the African American Museum?
That's one in DC?
Yes.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Oh,
I believe I've been there.
you have got.
Yeah, I've been there.
It is breathtaking. They take you back to that period of time, and you get to literally see the whips, the chains, the cuffs. You get to see everything. It's almost, they have you like walking through it. So we've been talking about doing this trip again. So I'm going to let you guys know, and we'll all go together. Now they must have to push me through this thing in a wheelchair, but I'm going through this again. We've been twice, but one time really thoroughly, because you got to really take your time, and it takes you all the way from back then up until now. They've done an amazing job. So I'll definitely let you know. You have to like get your tickets and batches and things like that. But I tell you, it's an amazing experience. And I think it would, we took all the kids, and, it helped them to kind of understand, what it was. But if you don't kind of keep that up and you go back to business as usual, then oh well. So would you guys be interested in going?
I would be. I thought, every once in a while when I'm driving back and forth between New York and down south Georgia, once I passing through DC, I kept saying I'm gonna make it a point. I'm going to stop there because I still haven't seen the Martin Luther King monument. So I figure I'm going to just make a plan. It's gonna be a stop.
You better hurry up and go. Trump about to knock all that down.
Yes, he was threatening to do something. Yeah, he was threatening to take away some of the funding and things like that. So you know what? We're gonna make this a plan. We still got our Trouble Man video to watch together.
Yeah.
We still have our Trouble Man to watch together, but definitely we're gonna get that trip going so we can make it happen, because we need to take our kids to see, exactly where we've been and how we've gotten to where we've gotten to. Terrence says, just a thought. What if a Black person is making this game due to they're taking things out of schools and trying to take roots away, and the game is just a reminder to what we went through? Just a thought. I don't know. I put it out on the table. What if that was the plan? Because see, I didn't think of it the way Terrence thought of it, but I said to myself, I hope it's not somebody Black in the background who's actually put this game together, but we won't know about it. He's brought up the fact that could it be that there's a goal to this for a Black person to say, you know what, I'm going to show you how it is, how it was back then. If and since everybody's into a video game these days, what better way to show it in a video? What do you think, Pastor Jeff? Do you think that would be a good thing or a bad thing?
It'd be a good thing, because it would open the eyes. When you put things on film, people, they see it. They see, when we read it, we got to imagine it. But when you show it, it's a more of an impact. So it might be a good thing.
Okay. Ames, what's your thought?
It's got to be more of a teachable moment. It can't be made like for entertainment purposes.
Right. But that was my thought.
Yeah, because to me, I'm sorry, there's too many on the other side of the fence will just take it lightly and go, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't make enough money, so I got to beat my help trying to get some more product out so I can sell it more. It would seem to be more entertainment. So to me, it's got to be a teaching lesson in it, incorporated in it. That's coming in it.
That was my thought.
I like Django. That movie Django.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Django.
Jamie Foxx, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I thought that movie kind of, brought some stuff out, and it made me feel good because Django won.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was my thought with the video game. My thought with the video game was, all right, is it a game? Because if it's simply a game, then no, we're not getting to the purpose if that was the initial design. If
You're gonna
it
make me research
came
this
with
game up, and gonna make me research who put the money up behind and find out who's behind it all. You know,
You see, Terrence, you done got Ainsley stimulated, but I do agree. That's the first thing that came to my mind. I'm like, well, if it's just a video game is just that. It's for entertainment. It's to pass your time away and to get engrossed in this type of game. To me, without a teaching moment or without it showing the theme and the purpose, you still have these people getting. I didn't bring it this week, but I came across an article where this cop, it's a female cop, and she was cussing and this and that and these effing ends, and I can't wait till I just snatch them up. People really feel this way, and so if you gave her a game, oh, she'd love this game. But if it was designed to be something that was replacing books and media to expose what life was like, then it has to come through like that. This can't be ambiguous. It can't be the smaller point and 99% of it is playing the game, but 1% is the lesson. Then it has to be designed strategically so that when a black person or a young black person plays the game, they can see like, dang. And then to me, it don't need to be in a game form. No. It don't need to be in a game form. If it's on a video and it's interactive video, that's different. But definitely for me, not in a game form. Could you do something like this for our young people? Yeah, you could. You could put something and make it interactive.
It's another flip on that, right? We talking about for us. Look, I think the majority of the people who need to change, it's not us. It's the other side of the fence. It's going to need to be a teachable moment because it's going to be mostly like Caucasian males playing this game. That's the problem. It ain't really us. It's that thinking. It's got to be a teachable moment for them. How do you flip this bias? Like it's okay to treat other people this way, but when we come to us, it's hands off. It's like, the majority of it is going to be white people, young white men who are more apt to go in this kind of mentality. So, it's like, how you make a teachable moment for them.
Right. Everybody needs that teachable moment. Because I thought about, okay, so right now, if the game is pulled up and played by some, like you said, young white person, if the goal is to teach them something, it ain't teaching them nothing now.
Yeah,
that's going straight out the window because it's a game. It's something to pass your time away. It's what people do. They play video games. So unless you really hit this real targeted, that even a white person, young white man, seeing this could actually interact with this video and go, wow, this is deplorable. Now when I go to work tomorrow, I really see the black people on my job differently, or I see the students in my school differently. Unless you got something that's coming through like that, you might as well save your money. Save your money.
Did you get the name of this game?
It's called Plantation Simulator.
Oh, Plantation
That's
Simulator.
It's called.
All right.
Yes, because I thought maybe I was missing a name too, but clearly I wasn't. Guys, thank you so much. As always, thank you for sending us into a thought-provoking weekend, and we pray you have a blessed day.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the story, Jeff. We always appreciate it, man.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, okay. So how do we close out this week? Because we've had a lot of stuff come through this week. We started off with the women who were complaining about, what the men were doing that in their opinion was just in bad taste, that was deplorable, that really should have been done differently. And hey, this is no, we don't do this. This is not, how things are done. We need to make sure that we are on point, man, and do what we need to do, and so forth and so on. Now we work our way through the whole week up to the plantation simulator. Do our children, our young people understand? Do they understand what slavery really meant? What slavery really means? Do they understand what it meant for them back then? Are we still living in a slavery or enslaved world? There's a lot of thinking. We look at all the news we cover. Oh my gosh, the stuff that we cover. Is this coming from a lack of understanding what slavery truly is and what this means to our lives? And now we're attacking one another. We're not, and I'm not saying we should be attacking anybody, but what I'm saying is, we're attacking one another. We just did the story yesterday of the grandson, 29 years old, who stabbed grandma, 11 times. If he's 29, grandma's got to be somewhere around my age. So grandma's somewhere around 60-ish. And so grandma was not a part of the cotton pickers necessarily, but she's in my age range, and we understand what that meant. And we're not even safe, with our own grandchildren. We're not safe with our own children. We've had this onslaught. We did last week where the girl gave her mother NyQuil to go to sleep because she was mad that she told her no. I don't like when my mama tell me no. And she put her mother to sleep with NyQuil and cut her hair. The war is on. The war is on. And one of the things we need to realize, and again, it's the continual word. This is why we need Jesus. There needs to be some form of shift in our thought process, because it will have a domino effect. I told you earlier this week that I was blessed enough to be on a community prayer meeting via Zoom with a school, where after we had the Jaden Pierre murder in the park, he went to like a sister school, and so it kind of affected the kids that way and things like that, and some of the kids knew him. So one of the teachers started a prayer group, and the parents, even this time when I was on, it was like up to 33, 35 parents. And it has to start there, where you as the parent understand, listen, I got to bring a difference to the table. We can't expect our children to think a certain way, understand things, do things differently, talk and speak differently, if we don't set the tone, if we don't put it out there. And a lot of the problem is coming from here, that generation above them. Their generation these days are our millennials, our Gen Zs. They are the parents responsible for our young people these days, our children these days. So if you don't feed them, then how will they be healthy? Period. Whether they're healthy mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, it doesn't matter. If we do not feed them properly, they will continue to be malnourished. If we do not feed them properly, they will continue to suffer allergies and the allergies of life. This stuff is figuratively used and spoken about, but this is real. This is real. When we feel like we don't need God, then God, after a while, says, I'll leave you to a reprobate mind. I don't have to cause anything. All I need to do is leave you to you. And boy, are we seeing the result of us being left to us. If we're not seeing this, boy, we're in trouble. The plantation simulator, that's us being left to us. Doesn't have to be forced on anybody. You know, I saw this week, it was a couple of articles of parents on the other side of the fence actually reprimanding and punishing their children because their children went to school and they were carrying on some level of racism. And their parents were called and they were like, are you kidding me? You know, that's not what you're taught at home. Okay, so you say it's not what's taught at home, then clearly they're watching something or whatever, because hate is not something that you're born with. We don't see hate in children. Children just play. Now you see a lot of, the bullying now, but a lot of that comes from where they come from. This stuff you're just not born with this. A lot of this is viewed, a lot of it is taught, a lot of it is experienced. So what are we going to do? That's my question. What are we going to do? And to continue to move forward without God is not an option. We've already tried it our way. We've already given our children to the enemy. When you do not give your child to God, you automatically give them to the enemy. The word of God tells you you're either for me or against me. So if you're not on the side of God, you automatically are on the side of the enemy. And if you're automatically on the side of the enemy, anything that belongs to you is on the other side and it belongs to the enemy. How long are you going to continue to give your child to the enemy? Are you tired? Are you tired of leaving? And see, one of the things I said to the parents, I was like, aren't you tired of sending your children out worrying? No, it's not that we don't have a worry when we have a life in the Lord. But listen, there's a difference when I send my child out naked or with street education. Well, watch your back, and somebody walk up on you, you just cross the street, or if you see something going on, just turn around and come. No, it can't be when you're in the mouth of something that now you take action. Learn to be proactive and not reactive. And if we do not give our children to God, we continue to remain in the reactive category. Because now you're teaching them to respond. If this happens, then. If that happens, then. No. One of the things that the teacher wanted to bring out, and she wanted me to talk about, was guidance, God's guidance, following God's guidance, learning, understanding when you hear from God, and discernment. And I told her straight up, I said, I'm going to be honest. I don't know who your parents are, but you can't ask me to bring these 3 topics and I don't talk about God. Because here's the thing, without God in your life, there is no discernment. Without God in your life, there is no godly guidance. Without God in your life, there is no way you can hear from God. It just does not happen like that, because all you're doing is feeling and hearing things, and you don't know if that's your instinct or if that's God actually talking to you, unless he's got a burning bush in front of your face. And even then, there will be people who will doubt that that's God. So listen. And she was like, listen, Pastor Steph, bring it. She said, that's what I need. And I understood where she was getting that from. What was the foundation of that concern? Because parents have said, I'm tired. There was a woman at the town hall meeting that we went to, and she stood up to the microphone and she broke down crying. She said, because I'm tired of sending my 15-year-old daughter out scared. And when she came afterwards, she talked and she cried. And when she got finished, I got called over. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give you some unsolicited advice, because I am a parent. I'm a single parent of 3 girls. I said, and they are now 40. They are now 35 and they are now 27. There were a whole lot of times every day when they left out, I was scared. I said, but I'm going to tell you something. Teach her about God, because here's what happens. There's a difference between you sending her out and you praying, and you sending her out and you and her praying. She's got to learn that when she walks up, when she's putting her clothes, when she's putting her clothes on, she's not just putting on the physical clothes, but she's putting on the body armor of God. From the helmet of salvation down to the sandals on her feet. The armor is being put on. She's not just putting on the what is it, North Pole, North Face, whatever it is, coat and the Jordan sneakers or the whatever sneakers they put on, and now she's fit so that people do not tease her. She's got to go out fully armed. Are you arming her? That's my question, because I'm going to tell you something. It will drop a whole lot of them tears. See, I don't play. And one thing that she said that really made me call her over, because she had said that when she was growing up, she was young, her mother moved her from another borough that she felt wasn't safe into Queens. Because I'm going to tell you something. That's the way if you lived outside of Queens, Queens was ritzy and for the people who had money, and it was quiet, and you could give your child a really good lifestyle. And that was my thing. I could identify with that desire. She said because her mother brought her to Queens to give her a different life, and now Queens looks like everywhere else. And I said to her, that's exactly what I did. I moved from the Bronx and by myself ate a mortgage so that my children could have a better life. And now I'm thankful to God that my children are grown, and I'm watching the deterioration of the very place I brought them to that was a safer haven. But if we don't give our kids God, when we send them outside, everything is reactive. You street, so you teaching them how to be street, and you teaching them how to do this, you teaching them how to take care of themselves. It has to start from home. And whatever you're giving them, all that street, all that knowledge, can't start from home. Doesn't start from home. Teach your child when she's putting on her clothes to just talk to God. God, I'm not only putting on my outer clothes, my street clothes, I'm putting on your body armor. When she leaves out the house, she's already praying and she's asking God to be where she's going. As she's walking, now she's got that discernment of God that's got her alert before the enemy reaches her, not when she spots the enemy. See, you're too reactive. I need to teach my girls, know when it's coming before it gets there. But I can't teach them nothing if I have not given them God. So when they get to school, then you just say another quick prayer. When you get ready to take your test, you say your prayer. Everything, God, that I studied, I pray that you bring back to my remembrance, because I know my intellect and everything that I got inside me that's going into this test comes from you. Let them start acknowledging who God is. This is no joke. Because see, let me tell you something. Once that starts happening, then a whole lot of things go on. See, the legion of angels begin to surround them before they even have to call on them. See, y'all don't know. If you ain't got God, you don't know. Trust me when I tell you, I done lived this parenthood thing on one side of the fence, and then I moved over to the other side of the fence, and I'm going to tell you something. There was a big difference. A big difference. A big difference. Because see, as your children get older, they always say the older they are, the bigger the problems. And I didn't have bad girls. Everybody needs some correcting every now and then. But I ain't had to take them off no pole. I have to bring them out no crack house. Only by the grace of God. I didn't do that on my own, because God had that situation. Only because God. Shantice is on here ministering to you only because of God. Ain't got nothing to do with Stephanie. I only did what God instructed me to do. And I tell you, we talk about being enslaved back then, picking cotton. Then we need to help them understand that right now we're still picking. Does not mean we're not picking cotton. We're still picking cotton. Yeah. So every opportunity you get to vote, get up out your bed, make it your business to get over to the poll. My daughter's argument was, well, I voted the last time and that person didn't win. I said, and such is life, girl. Get yourself together and vote anyhow. Because there were going to be times when you will win in life, and there will be times you will lose in life. But if you do not get up and go after it, you will always be a loser. Now, is that what you want to be? Because when you do not try, you will always lose. You cannot win by doing nothing. So how do you know that that one vote won't put your person over the line? Because there were times she took a test. She was trying to get some kind of certification. And she got very discouraged because the first time, I think they gave them 2 times to pass the test. And the first time she missed the test. She missed passing by 10 points. And the next time she missed by 5 points. And neither time did she get the certification. She was really despondent. And I said to her, I said, I'm sorry to hear that you didn't make it. However, what were you doing during the times when you could have been studying? If you got that close, then there is something you could have been doing when you weren't doing. I just want you to think about that. Because see, that should take you forward in all of your ways. Just think about that thing, mama. Just think about that right there. If you came that close. I just heard recently there was someone who was due to graduate and she missed it by 1 point, they say, and they did not allow her to pass the class and therefore she could not graduate. And the first thing I said to myself, I was like, yo, 1 point? Really? And then the other side of me, I understood. It took me back to the conversation I had with my daughter. What was that one thing that you could have been doing that you missed it by 1? Did you sleep that extra hour when you could have been studying? Were you chilling with your friends when you could have been studying? I mean, it could be anything. It could be anything. And some people say, that's just petty. No. You want that certification? Then guess what's going to happen the next time? You're going to remember that you didn't pass by 1 point, 5, or 10. And as disappointing that as that is, that's life. Yo, that's life. You do just one wrong thing, set you apart from your achievement, from your success. If we don't start thinking about this thing across the board, it has nothing to do with just your certification. It's your life. How are you handling your life? And that's what we need to teach them. And unfortunately, we see some parents, they so busy about getting their life that the kids ain't doing their homework. They out here getting degrees. The kids going to school. They ain't got their homework done. And I'm like, well, how does this even work? So you gave birth to the child and now you out chasing yours and they going to school and the teacher complaining that they not passing tests and they're not doing homework and they 10? Well, I go to school and I go to work and I come home tired. That's your problem. That's your problem. And nobody told you to chase your dream after the kid. So again, it's the way you look at life. It's not contained. The word of God says an unstable man is unstable in all his ways. You ain't just looking at this thing right here and none of this is affected. Don't kid yourself. If you are like that here, you better check every other area of your life. If you are a procrastinator, then you procrastinate across everything. Ain't gonna be no one thing. If you're a liar, you ain't just lying over here. There are other areas you lie. Listen, watch life very closely. When you fix certain things, if you notice, I fixed that and everything else fell into place. Yes, hey, that's what I'm talking about here. So we're talking about, like I said, going from grown women talking about their husbands and their men can't do simple things. The simple things really, really turn them off. To now, where are our children? Are they enslaved even now, where they have a level of freedom? Do they understand the areas of enslaving and enslavement? Do they understand that sometimes they enslave themselves? Do they understand that they were enslaved from birth? The home that they were birthed into, the parents that they were birthed into, were walking around with invisible bars all around them, and they didn't stand a chance. However, there are people who come from crackhead parents, you would never know. So it has to be about you. What do you think about your life? But if we have children, we have to ensure. Shantice, we were together on Wednesday when we went to the network, and she told 2 people. She said, see my mother right here? She said, let me do anything wrong. She said, boy, does she get on my nerves. She said, but I have to tell you, and she's not lying, there will be times in this house she'll just walk up to me and say, thank you, Mommy. Thank you. I know you get it. She said, but you know what? When I look around and I see other things, when I go out in the street and I see this and I see that, I have to say thank you. And I said to her, you're welcome. Because whether you said thank you or not, it is my job until God closes my eyes or close yours, God forbid. I'm on you. Not only am I on you as a mother, but I'm on you as a pastor. I don't only care about you because you're my daughter, but I care about your life. I care about you making it into the kingdom. Are we caring for our children that way? Because what happens, and I can't tell you how many times it sickens my gut when I hear a parent say, oh, they're getting old, there ain't nothing I could do. What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, they're getting older, they just got to make their own way. I'm sorry. I can't take that approach. Oh, they're getting older. They got to, make their mistakes. Absolutely. I'm not out of touch with reality. However, God still has them with you for a reason. Because a whole lot of children are disconnected from their parents in many different ways, and not for all negative. Some people go to college and they just stay away. They like where they've where they've gone to college. They like the where they live, the state, the cities, or whatever. They stay away. Some people go away because they can't wait to get up out that house. Whatever the reason is, your child is still with you for a reason. So I'm going to let you stick around me and do what you want to do because you could be doing something else. Oh, I don't bother them because, girl, I could be doing this. Well, I guess there's 2 that's still living with me would be real unhappy because I know I get on their nerves. And anybody around us can tell you, I'm bringing it. You do it in front of me, I'm bringing it. Because if I don't, see, here's the thing. If you didn't need it, you wouldn't have done it for me to see it and know you need it. Oh, there you go. If it was all about I didn't need to say anything, then why am I saying something? I wouldn't need to say anything. You'd be displaying something different. Take care of your children in more ways than one. Make sure you do what you need to do by them all the time. All the time. Give them God. That's the best gift you could ever give your child. You've been watching It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. Join us Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. where we discuss matters of the heart, mind, and spirit. As you go through your day, be sure to set your mind on things that are above, not on things that are on the earth. They will only serve as a distraction. Remember, prayer changes things. It's Pastor Steph signing off, and I want to thank my Due Time crew, the guys, for always sending us into a thought-provoking weekend. Oh, thank you for hanging out with us and keeping that chat room alive. Please do not miss this opportunity to give Christ your life right now. Please do not miss this opportunity to strengthen that relationship with the Lord right now, because later is not promised to us. Keep your eye out for us over the weekend on Sunday. And we just might be in the Word Prayer Project prayer room. Come on in the room and see what we're praying about. Until then, God spares. I love you.